What's going on, all you dock workers out there? Your two favorite boys from South Boston are back tonight. We're here to talk about the new Boston film. We're Boston Strong here in Cinephellas tonight. We're talking about Matt Damon and Casey Affleck in The Instigators.
Instigators. I'm in the middle of a high-speed car chase.
Think about the person you want it to be.
What kind of person do I be?
You walk out with me.
But I'm their hostage. And they're a psychiatrist.
You're underpaid.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, your favorite dock workers are back here from South Boston tonight to be talking about something that's truly big and hot. And of course, we're talking about the Instigators, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts Coffee and Three Parliaments.
And that's right, we are back tonight to talk about The Instigators, a movie that me and you have been looking forward to. We love the Boston aesthetic, the Boston accent, everything about it, and seeing Matt Damon and Casey Affleck team up. Usually it's Ben and Matt, but this time it's Casey and Matt. So we were interested to see this movie. It's directed by Doug Liman, who of course did the Roadhouse remake earlier this year with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was playing in theaters, I think, for like a week, and then it went to Apple TV Plus. So like a quick turnaround there. But they premiered it in theaters, and then it went to Apple TV Plus. We got a chance to see it, and it revolves around these two hoodlums, basically. Some old boys from Boston here that are involved in a heist, basically, against a politician, going after Ron Perlman, Mayor Michelli's money, who is a crooked politician, and he's basically stealing all this money. He's got a huge safe, and he's packing cash in there. And these two Boston pals are going to team up and hopefully score a big score here, one last score, so they can ride off into the sunset and escape prison time.
Damon plays a former Marine, and Affleck plays an ex-con, Cobby, which works perfectly, their Boston accents. But yeah, they're basically on the run to find them, crossing the Boston cops and, corrupt politician, Ron Perlman, and the rest of the cast here. But, it's nothing really new we haven't seen before. Rory, Matt Damon's character, was pretty lifeless in this movie too. Didn't really care about either of the characters like early on in the film up until the end either, which really kind of took me out of it. I was hoping more energy and more, I guess, chemistry in this movie from these two, and I didn't really feel it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was hoping that they'd get more wild than they were. They seemed too reserved for being these two characters. Like they should have been involved in some other shit. Like I wanted to see them causing some chaos along the way. But we have Rory's character, Matt Damon, seeing a therapist, basically, Dr. Donna Rivera, played by Hong Chow, and she gets involved in this heist that they're planning here. Basically they're going to involve her by faking her kidnapping. And that's, they're going to use that to, get to this money that's hidden and hiding out. But yeah, you see Rory go into a session with the doctor and, talk about how he's feeling and stuff. And even that was kind of lifeless and boring. The story, these characters weren't fleshed out at all. It feels like they just had an idea like, hey, this will be fun. Let's get these two together, set it in Boston. They're kind of the rough and tumble, Boston people, like, have there be a heist here. We'll have some cool cameos and we'll call it a movie. There really wasn't a lot under the surface in this movie, unfortunately. Not to say there weren't a few cool parts in the movie, because there was, and it was fun seeing a few actors show up here. Alfred Molina, Doc Ock himself, and, numerous other roles along the years. Always great to see him. He doesn't do a lot of movies anymore, so it was cool seeing him come out, even though it was a really tiny part. But seeing him and Michael Stuhlbarg, Mr. Basegi, basically the guy that's, that they're going to have to get the money to. He's kind of the mob boss in this movie here. So you got to see those two on screen, share a little screen time, but not much, basically just in the beginning of the film. And then you have, pop star Jack Harlow with a real blink and you miss it cameo at the beginning. He's there, and he's the third the third crew member out of the two here, he's the trio, and he's quickly killed. So it leaves the two of them. I thought that was pretty funny, just to have a basically a glorified cameo for Jack Harlow.
For no apparent reason. And I remember
Yeah,
Affleck gets shot pretty early on, and he's like barely holding on too, which is pretty funny. He was like blood gushing out, and he's like drinking a beer.
yeah.
There's some unintentional funny scenes, but yeah, Jack Harlow got capped pretty quick in this movie. But I really liked Alfred Molina. I love seeing that actor.
Mhm.
You know, he's been in a lot of great roles over the years. Of course, Michael Stuhlbarg from Boardwalk Empire, or Arnold Rothstein. Love this actor. Everything he's in, I'm always supportive. He gave it his all, even though he's not doesn't have much to work with in this film like everybody else.
Yeah, it's a lot of glitz and not much below the surface. Not a lot of dialogue between the characters. They probably improved a lot of the dialogue. Heists they're up to and stealing the fire trucks and doing that. Like it sounds fun on the surface. It's just the dialogue should have been a lot better. It could have been a lot funnier. They should have let these boys off the leash and let them go wild. That's what I was hoping for, and that's what a couple of the previews. That's what it was looking like it was going to be like. But unfortunately, it didn't end up like that. Rob Gronkowski shows up, the new former New England Patriot tight end, has a little part, and Ron Perlman as just like the scummiest scumbag mayor Michelli, just for no reason stealing all this cash, doesn't give a fuck. There's a fire going on in a building at one point, and he's willing to stay in the building just to make sure the cash is okay. He'll do whatever, burn down around him as long as he has the safe full of money. That's all he's worried about. Doesn't matter about the people he represents or anything. It's just cardboard cutout characters here, and not really a big payoff at the end either. Like, they get a hold of some money, and at that point we're like, oh, okay. I could care less what happened to these characters because I feel like I still don't know them or know why they're doing this. Really, I know Matt Damon's Rory has a child, but it just felt like the relationships weren't fleshed out enough, and didn't have a lot of fun with this movie, unfortunately, like I was hoping I'd have. Too bad.
Yeah, the best way I can describe this movie is lifeless and a drag of a movie from start to finish. I like both of these actors. I didn't like either of them in this movie. I didn't like their characters at all. There's nothing to them. There's nothing really on the line all that much. It's like some money, but you didn't really care or feel for the characters at all, and they're supposed to be intimidating. I'm like, neither of them really are in this movie at all. They're just kind of like, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
getting through life. But yeah, I thought the supporting cast was the best part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really disappointed by these two. They had no chemistry. It was slow at times, it dragged, and you just didn't really care about the movie overall. And that's how I kind of felt, and a huge disappointment for me. So that being said, I'm giving The Instigators, currently streaming on Apple TV Plus. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. Dunkin' Donuts coffee hair pieces.
Worth mentioning Toby Jones, the guy's in everything. He shows up in here as an attorney for Ron Perlman, and then Ving Rhames, who's kind of like the muscle that's going after these guys in the movie. Cool seeing him, but yeah, nothing to those parts either. It's like Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. They're both award-winning actors, and there was just nothing here that resonated. Just a lifeless movie, like you mentioned. Not a lot of fun. Had a few funny parts, but really few and far between here. And an instantly forgettable movie. So with that being said, I'm going to give The Instigators. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 Sam Adams Boston Lager hair pieces.
I want to hear from all you dock workers out there. What did you like about The Instigators? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite part about living in South Boston? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, and also check out those wild New Englanders on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
So thank you guys for watching our review of The Instigators. And until the next Cinephellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Damon.
Yeah, you can just call me Big Ralph tonight. Until the next TV review. Cheers! And don't forget your union dues.